Hi, so I'll be speaking on the NYC data engineering project I worked on. So this is the basic workflow that I went through. And the data source I actually take is the NYC parking violations data. And it approximately has 50 million data records. And that is when I take for particular years, like in this case, I've taken 2014, 16, 17, 18, 19. And I've used Apache Airflow for orchestrating the data pipeline, and it automates the process of extracting the parking violations data from the NYC data portal. And the extracted data is then stored into S3. In this case, the data comes in a CSV format. I actually gzip it, and I then I convert it to a Parquet format, and then I've used the data warehouse as Snowflake. So the file that I use has Parquet, comes in, loads it, has a database, data table in Snowflake. And then this is the extract and the load part. And for the transformation, I use dbt. It uses the Snowflake's data warehouse to transform the tables. And then the final layer is the data visualization and the dashboarding that I do. That's in Tableau. The main tech stack that I use in this technology, like programming languages that I use, is Python and SQL. And this all is encompasses under a Docker Compose file, and the main operating system is Linux. So the NYC data portal I was talking about, this is the particular year's violation data that we see. Over here, as you can see, I actually take all the CSV URLs for downloading the data. So if you see, there's a link over here. I copy it and then put it into over here. I made a data frame where I actually get the values, and I then run my Docker Compose file. So this is my Docker. If you see, my Docker is running, and the next thing I see is my Airflow. So I've run for all the particular years that I wanted, and I actually put all the variables that I needed. In this case, as I said over there, I put for particular year data, for URL data, and I have also built the connections in Airflow, like the AWS and Snowflake connections. And then I've also run the dbt. You can see the tasks happening in Airflow. So once I actually run this, once I run the upload part, it actually goes to the convert part, convert and create. And that actually converts it from a CSV to a Parquet file. And then the Parquet file is actually loaded into a Snowflake. So as you can see, there is data aware scheduling happening over here. If you see, it shows the flow of how the data goes through. And then I also have alert set up in this case. So I can show an example over here for the DPT run task. And I have the Celery, the worker flows running over here. So I can show you one of the tasks. As you can see, it's success. So on each run of the task, if it goes through, I actually receive an alert as well. There are SLAs as well as established. So if a particular task or a DAG doesn't run in an allotted time, I actually get alerts. So as you can see, I'm receiving the alerts over here. So this is the activity part. See, I'm receiving alerts. So this will run for a while. Let's see after it running. I wanted to show the data warehouse thing or data I was talking about. This is the parking violations data for each particular year that has been there. And then I also have the the DBT models, I actually go through a medallion architecture over here, taking the raw data. I've actually built it in macros as well. And then there's the bronze, silver tag where I actually transform it over here and make the business layer on top in the gold layer, where you actually get the metrics here and this details on it. So as you can see the data preview. You get all the ticket revenue, ticket counts, revenue that has happened for each particular year, the metrics, the code runs. See, as you can see over here, we have the vehicle metrics. This is the gold layer I was speaking on. I've also built a trigger, like as soon as this runs, it actually goes through the trigger that if this finishes running, it actually goes to this DAG that is generating the doc files. So let's see, I'm receiving alerts still. That's nice. You can see as soon as this finished running, it actually runs this trigger. And it too has run. So what I'll do is I want to show you the DBT documentation that I can utilize. So I actually take whatever, I'll show you the DBT documentation that I get. So what we can do is run a particular code. I run a local server and show you the DBT documentation that is built upon based on that. So here you can see the bronze layer, the gold layer, the silver layer, the database, DB, that this is what you can see on Snowflake, right? And this is, when you click on that, you get details on it. Particularly on this case, I've written for the gold layer. As you can see, this is the gold layer in the medallion architecture, showing the metrics and various info, like the business level information. I've run tests over here, and I can show you like the data is like quite large. Like in this case, it's like so 46 million rows, around 50 million. So plenty. And this data, then I actually take put it in into the transform data. I actually make use of over here. I'm putting my Snowflake credentials over here to show you the final dashboard that I built upon. So it takes a while because it's like so many rows, right? So many million rows, so it takes a while. So let it load. So the data has loaded, as you can see on Tableau, and I'm particularly using the silver violations ticket dataset that has all the merge table with the violations for 2014 till 2019 in this case. And as you can see, this is the final dashboard that I built upon. And let me actually show it as a dashboard. And as you can see over here, it shows the violations by code, that the code description, like these are like 500 million fees was collected. And this is the count, like most parking violations by county in New York. And this is by state. So as you can see, it's New York, it shows New York. So it does make sense since the parking violations is in the New York state. So most of the violations happen in state and some of them are from outside. New Jersey is a is a neighboring state, so it makes sense for it to be here. And the vehicles, how many fees was collected. Ford has, like particularly Ford vehicles have 415 million plus data. And you can see the overall 20, and I can see over here 2019 it has decreased. So I think it's also in the case like COVID happened, right? So the violations has decreased drastically over here. So New York didn't make money during that time collecting fees. And this is actually a dashboard that can be used as a filter as well. So if I click on Ford, it will actually show you all the data regarding Ford on this dashboard. So as you can see, it shows like 2018, they had like 14 million of Ford violations, and overall they had like 60 million uh, violation fees collected from 2013 to 2019 in this case. And New York County was where most of the violations happened. And you can check out for all other vehicles as well over here. I'll check it for Honda. Takes a while to load. So as you can see, it's around the same 16 million again. It's a filter. So it happened in King County over here mostly in New York. So that's it. Data. This is the data dashboard I was talking about. Thank you.